Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Lavern. How are you doing this beautiful day? It is Thankful Thursday, and we are so excited to come to you today to show you one of our 30-minute meals. Let me wash my hands. I am so excited today to talk to you. Are you having a good Thursday? It has been a awesome day, and we are preparing today. We are preparing the garlic bread with these spaghetti. It's the meat and without the spaghetti noodles, but it's the meat and the cheese. And it is a very simple menu, a very easy recipe, and I hope that you enjoy it. So let's get started. I've already got my seasonings already out. I have 1/4. I always use Mrs. Dash. I have 1/4 of Mrs. Dash. I have my ground beef already ready for the seasonings. And I have 1/4 cup of black pepper. 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're going to mix all these seasonings together. And I have one more season. This season, I sometimes put it in my beef and cheese casserole, as we call it. And today I'm going to use it and put it in my casserole. And it's a very simple spaghetti and mushrooms. Spaghetti and mushrooms. And let me tell you now, it is really delicious. It enhances the flavor of your meat, and it is awesome. Now, I'm not going to use, because I use I use a pound and a half of beef. Now, you can use turkey, or if you want to, you can use the beef. But I'm mixing this beef of all that I have, and I'm going to make some burgers out of it, probably the weekend. So I'm not going to use all of the beef that's in the pan, because it is quite a bit. And I'm just preparing a meal for two. So I'm going to use probably about half of this. And we're going to put it in the oven and let the beef brown. And we're going to put it in the on the stove. We got it in a skillet. And I'm going to make some hamburgers out of see, that's a little bit better light. I'm going to make some hamburgers out of the leftover beef that I have. And see what I do, I make it in a bowl, and I flatten them because I want it to look like the restaurant hamburgers. It's not going to be like McDonald's, but hopefully it's going to taste a little better. So we're going to make probably about 3 or 4 of these. And who knows, it might be warm enough for me to put them on the grill. So we have the beef cooking now. It's going to make about 3. I always make him a larger hamburger than what I would have. And then we're going to just put them on some wax paper, put them together, and we're going to freeze them. All right. Now, everything else is ready to go. I have 2 different cheeses that I'm going to use in my menu today. I'm going to use, let me show it to you. Let me dry my hands. I'm going to use regular cheddar, the mild cheddar cheese, and I'm going to use the Kobe Jack. And let me tell you, those two, when they're blended together, it's a great delicious menu. So let's get this burger, this hamburger, because it's not going to take that long to cook this meat. I had it a little bit too low for now. Oh yeah, it's not going to take long at all. And once this is prepared, then we will start layering the pan with the bread, the garlic bread, the hamburger, the cheese, and we're going to do 2 levels of that. We're going to do 2 levels. I'm trying to see, I'm making sure that, I hope you guys can see me pretty good. For some reason, to me, this is not, and it just might be these eyes of mine. I hope that you can see me pretty good. Can you see me okay? All right, so I'm in the process now of browning the ground beef. But while I'm waiting on the ground beef, I'm going to I'm going to put like 2 pats of butter in the bottom of the pan and let those warm in the oven while I'm waiting on the ground beef. This is one of mine. And I get the garlic bread. The garlic bread comes in a box from Walmart. And there's 8 pieces in here. And this is only $1.98. So if you're preparing lasagna, if you're preparing spaghetti and meatballs, or if you prepare this meal, I mean, this is already have the garlic and the butter on it, but I like a little bit extra butter. Let me see. Is that, is she, how sweet. Hi, Peaches. Hi, darling. How are you? Now, see, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Have you seen any of my other videos, Peaches? I have several videos that I've been doing since last year. And I've been doing these 30-minute meals for a while now. But, you know, I'm trying to get to a level than where I was last year. So I'm praying that this helps. Okay. How you doing, dear? It's a blessing to see you. Okay, so now I have my butter already in the pan. I have the bread already layered in the pan. And in about a few minutes, we're going to put it in the oven. Oh, the beef is smelling so good. I am really excited showing, you know, it's so many young ladies and young men that don't know how to prepare meals. They go out to dinner a lot. And see, I'm not one, we was brought up old school. You know, we was brought up that why spend that money when you don't have to and you got a stove and you got food in here? And it's okay to go out and eat. I'm not saying don't go out and eat. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But, you know, coming from the old school, I just like nothing like a home-cooked, prepared meal. I just love to cook. I went to school for this when I was living in Georgia. I am a certified chef. Yes, I am. I am a certified chef, and I have prepared food for over 500 people at a time. And as I was telling you in an earlier video, I volunteered at our church in Georgia. And on Thanksgiving and Christmas, we used to feed the less fortunate. And it was just so humbling to be able to, we would get in the kitchen probably around sometimes 6 o'clock in the morning. We would start preparing 2 days before the event. But it was so humbling to be able to do what you love. As long as you love what you do, that's all that matters. And like I said, I volunteered over almost 18 years at my church preparing this food. And I used to love it. Even if the young lady that they even have here at the church now, she would call me. She said, hey, sis, I need your help today. I need to feed 50 people. I need to feed 100 people. If my schedule was clear that day, I went right on up there and helped. I love to cook. And I started making these videos. It's been about maybe a year and a half. I started making these videos because some of the teachers that was at the school, they would try our food and they say, oh, how did you make this? And how did you make that? So my sister at the church, she said, you know what, Lavern, why don't you start putting your videos online, and didn't know how to do that. Really, I didn't know. And I'm still learning because there's so much. When I did it, there's a lot of stuff they didn't have here online. And so I'm learning. I am learning what to do when it comes to this online forum. I got a long way to go, but at least I'm trying. So we would start, do different menus, and the teachers would want the menus, or they'll say, hey, make me this and I'll pay you. But I was doing the Lord's work free. I wasn't trying to get paid. I was working and volunteering for my church. So my husband said, well, what is it? When we moved over here to South Carolina, he said, well, honey, what is it that you want to do? What is it? What's in your mind you want to do now? So I told him, I said, well, I think I want to start my cooking classes up again. And he said, well, Lavern, if that's what you want to do it. And so I started doing my cooking classes again. And I also like desserts. I love. That's why I need to lose some weight. But I love desserts, especially my number one dessert is peach cobbler dump cake. And I did an apple dump cake the other day. And it came out pretty good. But like I told you, I love the peaches with that recipe. So I'm putting the bread in the oven. I'm putting the bread in up because I want the one side to get a little bit brown. Because my hamburger is ready. Like I said, if you don't eat beef, you can use turkey. If that's what you love to prepare your meals with, try turkey. It's just as good as this beef. And probably even better and more healthier for you. So now I'm about to drain the beef. And once I drain the beef, I'm ready to start layering it and putting it in the oven. And that's only been about 10 minutes. So let me drain this beef. I'm excited. I love to do, since it's cold, there's certain meals that I like to prepare when it's cold. I love to prepare stews and soups. And I don't eat soup, but my husband does. And he loves beef stew. So I love preparing those meals for him. Now, I tell you one thing I love is chili and cornbread. Now, you can feed me chili and cornbread all week, but, I'm not going to eat it that often. But I love. Now I'm about to drain this grease off of this beef. Because you don't want all that grease in your mixture. All right. Now I'm going to put a cup of spaghetti sauce within the meat. And once I do that, ladies, gentlemen, that's it. That's all the ingredients. And then we will start layering the beef and cheese. Everybody say, how can you just cook a meal in 30 minutes? It's very simple. It's very simple to do. It doesn't take long to cook a meal in 30 minutes. Not at all. All right, so there goes the spaghetti sauce. I love to watch people prepare meals online. Everybody has their own way of preparing meals, and I love to see different recipes being prepared. All right. Okay, this is ready, ready, ready. Now, all the ingredients that I put on here, it has, I have to use something that's going to be healthy for my husband. And I use Mrs. Dash. I use Mrs. Dash because it has all the salt, the pepper, all the season, the onions, is peppers are ground up in this season. So I use this seasoning because number one, it's healthy. He can't eat a lot of salt, unfortunately, because all the medication he's on. I have to watch my salt intake also, but I truly have to watch what I prepare for him. All right, well, this is ready. I'm going to pull the meat out of the bread out of the oven, and we're going to start layering. We're going to start layering the meal, and within 5 minutes, it will be in the oven. All right. And don't forget, when you're turning your oven on, put it on 350. Let it get hot because you want the oven to be hot when you start layering this meal. So the bread is ready. And we're just going to turn that over so the other side can cook. So we're going to start. It doesn't matter which cheese you start with. You can start with the Colby Jack, or you can start with the mild cheddar. It does not matter. So you want to put just a little bit of cheese on top of the bread, and then you're going to start layering it with the meat. You can do it 2 times or you could do it 3, but I try to do it 2 times. I'm going to layer the meat at least twice on here. So let me put my camera down so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now you will see the meat with the sauce. It has the sauce in it. You can use whatever type of spaghetti sauce you want. You could even use a pizza sauce. I did this recipe with just a plain pizza sauce. Now this has mushrooms. This is the mushrooms garlic sauce that I'm using. And the only thing you're layering the meat with the beef. And it doesn't have to be, this is not a pretty meal. You can let it run over just a little bit off the bread, because once it's done, it's going to go in the oven for about 5 minutes. According to how your oven is regulated, about 5 minutes, this is going to be ready. And we've been doing this about 9 minutes. Okay. Now, I want you to see, this is enough food for me and my husband. This is a meal large enough for us. And I want you to see it before I put the double layer of cheese on it. This is how it comes out. Now we're going to put the cheddar, the mild cheddar. I love the mild cheddar cheese. When I make my macaroni and cheese, I use a lot of cheese. I don't like more macaroni than cheese. I love putting a lot of cheese, melting and have that cheesy, creamy sauce. I love to put a lot of cheese in my macaroni and cheese. You know, I look at a lot of the restaurants and they don't have a lot of cheese. They have more macaroni than they do cheese. I'd be like, And I don't eat it. I prepare it. I'm one of those finicky eaters. A lot of the foods that I do prepare. So that's a lot of cheese, isn't it? That's a lot of cheese, but I love it. I love it. I love it. And once in about 5 minutes, all this cheese will be melted. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. So we're going to put a very thin layer, another layer of the meat, and then I'm going to put a very thin layer of the cheese. And that's it. It's ready for the oven. And it'll be ready in about 5 minutes. And it's going to be a very, very thin layer of meat. And you say, how is that going to be enough to feed and get full off of your meal? Honey, with enough, what I put on this is going to be enough to fill you up. It will be enough. And see, for the last 6 months, we have been trying to eat healthier, lose some weight. We're trying to really lose some weight. I've lost some, thank God, but I need to lose a little bit more weight. Okay, that's my second layer. We're going to put a very thin layer of the Kobe Jack on top, and it's ready for the oven. It will be ready for the oven. Thank you so much for, it's a blessing to see this young lady, Miss Peaches, come in and say hello. I'm like, oh my God. Now, she is one of the #1 influencers, creators on these forums. So I appreciate her stepping in. All right, there it is. So let me show it to you. And it is ready for the oven. In about 5 minutes, it'll be ready to eat. And it's almost like making a pizza, or you can make, I do what they call a spaghetti bake with this. I make the regular spaghetti, but instead of having it in a pot, I do it in a pan, and you're going to layer the spaghetti with cheese. It's almost the same exact thing that I've just done. And my husband loves it. He loves it. But like I said, I really don't eat spaghetti. I don't eat spaghetti, but I eat that because I don't like noodles. I do not like noodles. So, but he does. So maybe once, maybe every 2 weeks, because he cannot have all the noodles. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Let me go, and I'm closing my curtains for the day. It's getting a little dark here. I would normally do spaghetti for him because he cannot have a lot of noodles, unfortunately. He's on a lot of medications. So I really have had to change his menu, his diet a lot. But he still have good meals. But the ingredients that I'm putting in there, a lot of the ingredients that I've had to dismiss and not use, especially salt. Now, he loves pepper, but the amount of pepper you use in your foods, if you use too much, that's still not good for you either. We got about 2 or 3 more minutes, and then I'm going to pull the dish out of the oven. I have to close these curtains. And like I said, I thank you so much for coming in today and listening. And I will be on TikTok. I'll be on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube. So I'm trying this thing again, and prayerfully, with God's will, everything will work out okay. Now, tomorrow, it's Friday, I'm probably going to I might just do a plain, if I don't do brownies, I have a recipe that I do brownies in caramel. But I might do just a plain, not the dunk cake, do a plain home style peach cobbler, as they call it in the country, from scratch. I did a pound cake, a cream cheese pound cake last week, and I have to give this food away because we don't eat a lot of it. But I thank God I have some godchildren that don't mind coming over, getting some plates or getting some desserts. So I'll tell them, hey, Auntie, prepare some food. Come and get it. So I have to. My husband says, you're cooking too much food. Well, this is part of what we're doing. So I'm so excited. Again, I want to say thank you so much for chiming in today. I'm going to try this video live again, 30 meals with Lavern. So thank you. Be blessed. And I know you're waiting to, oh, it's about 2 more minutes. I can turn the oven off. Boom. I give it 2 minutes because it haven't even been 30 minutes. It hasn't even, so I'm going to show you the clock. It hasn't even been 30 minutes. Can you see it? It hasn't even been that. But I'm going to wait till it's 5:30. Because as I tell you, you can prepare a meal for you. I have a lot of single young ladies that say, they always call me Mama T. Mama T, I need that menu. Tell me how to do this. Show me how to do this. Okay, come online and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, so I had some young ladies say they're going to chime in. They'll look at the video today. And I said, give me your feedback. A lot of people say, oh, they don't like people to criticize. It's not a criticize. It's not criticizing. I know you're not going to criticize what I do because we're all in this business to do good and to do better and to make money. So, if it's something that I might have did wrong or you would do it another way, I would love to hear it. I would love to hear. I sit here and look at other people's videos and, I see things that I don't agree with, but you'll never see me type, well, you shouldn't do this. And no, you don't need to do that. You don't need to talk to him that way. You don't need to do. I'm not into all that. I'm into what you are talking about, making money. That's what I'm focusing on. How you made money and how I can make some money. That's all I'm concerned about. So, I pat anybody on the back that has a thick skin, because you got to have a thick skin on online forums, because I'll be looking at some folks. I'd be like, oh, that'll make me cry. But, I'm not going to cry. But I just, wow, I'll be like, wow, you got to have some thick skin on here. And that's okay. That's life. People's opinion does not matter. They don't pay your bills. They don't pay your bills. So it doesn't matter what they think. Okay? It doesn't matter. When they start paying your bills, that's when it matters. Okay, I'm about to take it out of the oven. So give me a second to grab it. Okay. All right. Ooh. Oh, that looks good. Okay, let me put it on here, because I definitely do not want to make it fall. And like I said, that recipe was less than 30 minutes. So let me show it to you. Here we go. It's ready. Did you see it? Let me see. I might have to pick it up. So again, thank you so much for chiming in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you much for subscribing to my channel. Like I said, I got a long way to go, but I know me and God will get there. All right. So everybody take care, be blessed. And I do look forward to talking with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.